There are few things I am as certain of as this. For certain comic book fans, there have only ever been a handful of characters worthy of the name Captain Marvel! And Carol Danvers? She ain't one of them. But for some overly complicated copyright reason, DC Comics is not legally allowed to publish a comic book titled Captain Marvel! Even though theirs is the original, which is some bullshit. To their credit, DC has tried to roll with it for like the last 15 years or so by leaning into this idea that the general audience, who have seen this character in various random places in pop culture, misremembered and thought his name was Shazam all along, which I suppose helped when they set out to make a film series based on his magical corner of the DC Comics universe. Fast forward to the last couple of months or so, and it seems DC Comics is walking back that decision and returning the character's namesake. Now, I'm very dubious whether or not it'll stick or if those crosstown jerks will hit the petty panic button and sue. Just in case that happens, and as a long overdue attempt on my part to honor my friend Jason Scaroni, the most Captain Marvel-esque guy I've ever known, I've compiled a list of new heroic identities for this special character who has always been, and shall always be, filled with magic. Let's get what feels like the super obvious out of the way. Captain Shazam would be a nice throwback to the original, as well as a middle finger protest to that weird backwards copyright ruling. Captain Champion sounds super simple and super retro, but under the surface there's a nod to the very essence of the character, the chosen champion of the wizard Shazam. Question: is Billy not a young person of exceptional quality? Isn't that why the wizard chose him? Yeah, so Captain Prodigy seems like a logical, viable option. Captain Hero! Let me level with you here. It's a generic name, one that was once upon a time used by Marvel Comics, but the character didn't land with the fans, and is apparently dead. So, since we've seen Marvel get handsy with DC stuff, Turnabout is absolutely fair play. Captain Fantastic has all the charm this character imbues as wish fulfillment. Plus, there's a reference to Elton John in there, and you just don't get any cooler than that in my book. Billy Thunders might sound like the nickname of an old school bass player, but my thought process was simply a combination of secret identity and power set. You know, it's wild to me that the big two comic companies have characters named Living Lightning, Electro, Lightning Lad, but somehow neither of them have a Captain Lightning. The time might be right to change that. Philly Freedom is a blatant nod to the New 52 location change for Fawcett City, plus another reference to Elton John, 2 in 1 video, but I swear that's purely coincidental. You might think it's goofy, but I know in my heart that any hero with that name would be very popular among the patrons and owners of Patty's Pub, which is more than enough for me to get behind it. Billy is a foster child, and the definition of the word foster is to encourage, which makes this next name feel so right, so earnest, it just might be my favorite on this list. Captain Foster! If DC would just lean in heavy to the magical aspect of the character, beyond just calling down lightning, then Captain Eternity would be the way to go. It gives off these ethereal vibes, plus directly connects to one of the coolest base of operations in all of comics. Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, Mercury. Any single one of these mythical characters are considered powerful. A being imbued with all of their best traits? Almighty is the way to describe a champion like that. Captain Almighty. It's not an exaggeration to say that all great superheroes have cool monikers. For Superman, it's the Man of Steel. Batman is the Dark Knight. Spider-Man has Wallcrawler, or your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And for Billy Batson's alter ego, it's been the world's mightiest mortal. If we were to drop the captain from a superhero name for Billy, Mortal Magic would be a new, dynamic way to take it while harkening back to that original nickname. Mortal Might has a similar vibe to it. Captain Magic is a bit on the nose. It's another one that would really only work like gangbusters if DC would just lean into the magical potential of the concept. like spellcasting and such. I don't know, maybe the character could train with Zatanna, or Dr. Fate to learn how to do that? The word Magnus is used in Latin to describe something that's great or large, so Captain Magnus would be an exceptional way to simply describe this wonderful character. And you know, using that word got me thinking. This character has always drawn comparisons to Superman, which makes sense to a certain degree. But it seems to me he's always had just as much, if not more, in common with another member of the DC Trinity, which is everybody's favorite, Batman. Not him. It's not always about him. I'm talking about Wonder Woman. There would be no better mission statement at making that point than renaming him Captain Wonder. Whether good or bad, silly or cool, that's all the names I have. I hope a few things for this video: that it finds its audience, that my love for the source material somehow shines through as bright as a bolt of lightning, that older fans will forgive me for going so far from the character's original name with some of these suggestions. Most of all, I hope it makes my friend Jason smile. That's all this is all about.